So it's been a while since we made a video like this, and in this video we're going to be going over the 6 fastest TTK close range weapons that are currently inside Warzone. If you do enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we're trying to reach our goal of 50k. Also click that link in the description down below and subscribe to our second channel. So what we have here is a true game data website with a bunch of ARs as well as SMGs, because we're mainly focusing on fully automatic weapons. Those are the most popular, those are the best ones to use, so that is why we're talking about these weapons in particular. There's a couple of ARs, like I said, and a couple of SMGs in here, and we're mainly focusing on 250 health. That is the main kind of health point for the main Battle Royale game mode. Obviously, Vanguard Royale has extra health now, which is about 300 health. But overall, TTK shouldn't really change all that much, because if a gun still kills faster than another gun, doesn't matter if you have more health, it's still going to kill faster, so it doesn't really make a difference. Now, when it comes to all these weapons, what we have is the AS44 here, which is the fastest TTK gun in the game pretty much when it comes to close range and long range. Now, in terms of recoil control, obviously, it's going to be kind of tough to control, but like I said, we've got a couple of builds that you can use. Now, we've got the Type 100 as well, which is not actually on this list, and the reason why I never put it on the list is because the recoil control in that gun is absolutely ridiculously bad. Then we do have the Owen Gun at a 472 millisecond TTK, which is really fast, and it's pretty much neck and neck with that Type 100 build, which everyone's saying is the fastest SMG in the game. But in my opinion, the Owen Gun is definitely the better option. Then we've got the AUG from Modern Warfare, which, to be fair, no one's really using this weapon, but it is a solid gun when it comes to TTKs. Then we do have the Wellgun, which is not even a fast TTK build. Now, for the most part, we are putting the best TTK attachments on there, but it's an overall really solid sniper support build as well. So then we do have the LAPA, which I do still think is absolutely solid. We've got the Fennec as well, which is up here, which no one really talks about. Then we've got a bunch of MP5s. So we've got the Modern Warfare Cold War MP5 and the OTS. So we're going to fly through these builds here when it comes to the fastest TTK weapons, and I am ranking them in order of which ones I think you should use. Now, at number 6, we do have the Modern Warfare AUG. Now, the reason why I don't really recommend this build all too much, or this weapon in general, is because the movement is very slow for an SMG at close range. That's what we're mainly focusing on here. And for this kind of weapon, it does move really slow, especially if you decide to put on that 60 round mag, which I really don't recommend. I know a lot of people do recommend this mag, and it's good for TTK, but overall movement gets slowed down an absolute ton. So this is the build I would recommend. Lightweight suppressor, so you can stay suppressed, but you don't get any constant movement. Then you get the 5mm laser, the ultralight hollow, or you can choose the CQB comb for a faster ADS, stipple grip tape, and the 30 round mags. Next up, we have the Fennec, and the Fennec is probably something I would recommend, probably more than the Modern Warfare AUG in my opinion, if you want a Modern Warfare weapon, and that is this build right here. Now, again, it's built for speed because all of these Vanguard Cold War guns move way faster than the Modern Warfare weapon, so you do need to build it for speed as much as you possibly can. I went for the deadfall barrel, just get the sound suppression, and you also do get the damage range and recoil control as well that you need for this gun. Then you get the 5mm laser for the hip fire, no stock for the ADS times and movement speeds, stipple grip tape once again, the 40 round mag, which is an absolute must on this weapon, you can't use it any other way. At number 4, we have the best Black Ops Cold War SMG in the game, hands down. I still see people using this OTS, and the OTS, as you've seen on the TTK charts from earlier, that it just doesn't stack up when it comes to TTKs compared to the other weapons in the game now. But the LAPA is still in the mix, and I do recommend using this over the OTS if you want a Cold War weapon. Now, the build is the one that I've been sharing for such a long time now. So regular sound suppressor, so you can get slightly faster ADS, BR compact barrel, which is absolute must. This gives you the fastest possible TTK, bruiser grip, 40 round mags. You could use the 50 if you really wanted to, but I think 40 is enough to give you a good snappy ADS, and then the Microflex LED optic, because the iron sights are garbage. At number 3, we have what is, in my opinion, the best SMG in the game right now, and that is the Wellgun. It's by far and away got really good handling, so that's going to be recoil control, bullet velocity, mobility as well in terms of movement. But on top of that, it does have a super fast TTK. Now, it's not as fast as some of the other weapons that you saw on the list, but it's still a really solid TTK that you can use at pretty much any range. Now, this is probably the build I'd recommend the most. Now, I also do like using the 40 round mags as well. It's going to give you a slightly faster fire rate, which is going to be a bit more forgiving, but on top of that, it's going to give you like a little bit better movement speeds, and it's going to give you more recoil control as well. So You can choose between this or the 64 round, but the 64 round gives you the better TTKs. Fabric grip is an absolute must on this weapon. You do need that faster ADS, especially using the 64 round mags, and the skeletal underbarrel is an absolute must as well. There's no other way to use this. The rest of the attachments pretty much stay the same. So that's the remove stock is the best stock for this gun. We've got the shrouded barrel, which is going to give you the better recoil control, which you do need. And then we've got the recoil booster on there for the faster fire rate. At number 2, we have a gun that I have a love-hate relationship with. Now, if you know me, I like iron sights. I like guns that are very good visibility, very good movement, and they have fast TTKs. Now, this gun has one of those things, which is the fast TTK, obviously, as you've seen earlier on. But when it comes down to movement, it's not one of the fastest moving SMGs. And on top of that, this mag that you do need to use for the fastest possible TTK covers 90% of your screen. Now, there is a quick cheat you can do to get around that, which I'll show you in a second. But first of all, in terms of the build, you have to use this build right here. So it's the recoil booster, which is going to give you the faster fire rate, the rapid barrel, which is going to give you a faster fire rate. Then you need to use the 72 round Grenko mags, which again gives you a faster fire rate. Now, as you can tell, this gun fires really slow, so we're boosting the fire rate as much as possible, and you do get that insane TTK with it. Now, the rest of the build you can change as much as you like. And the remove stock, I think, is the best stock. However, when it comes to optics, even though I still like to use a slate reflector because it doesn't give you any cons to ADS, the best optic to use is going to be the Slate Custom 2.5x. And the reason for that is when you switch to the second optic toggle, it pushes the mag down to the bottom of the screen so it doesn't cover up all your display and allows you to get better visibility. So if you do want better visibility, use the hybrid optic and then switch it to the second optic. Last but not least, at number 1, we have the AS44. Now, this gun had such a fast TTK, we couldn't pass up on putting this gun in the list, especially at number 1 anyway, because even though it's not the best well-rounded weapon in the game, and to be fair, for an assault rifle, it's got terrible recoil control, but you can definitely use this as an SMG, and it works extremely well because Vanguard weapons built correctly have super good movement speeds as well. Now, the build you want to use for this and the attachments you have to use, so you can use the recoil booster for the faster fire rate, the Falcon barrel for the faster fire rate, and then you can use the standard mags, which gives you the TTK that you've seen at the start of this video, or you can use the 40 round mags. Now, this is going to con your recoil, but it does give you a slightly faster TTK than the standard mags, but considering this is already the fastest killing gun when it comes to fully automatic weapons, I think the 60 round mags is a better option to get a bit more recoil control with your weapon. I do like the M1 hand stop. You could choose whatever underbarrel you prefer, to be honest. Maybe the Carver 4 grip would be a good option, or the pistol grip, but I do need as much recoil control as I can get with a specific build, so that is why I went for the hand stop. Then you can choose the polymer grip, or you can choose the fabric grip. Even's a good option. You could choose the hipfire build version of this gun, so you can use the pine tar grip and use it more like a hipfire build. So you can use that a couple of different ways when it comes to rear grips. For perk, gung ho is probably the best option, if I'm being perfectly honest, because you want to be able to fire whilst you're sprinting, and it's going to remove that sprint to fire time. When it comes to the remove stock, it's just the best at movement speeds, and that is why I would go for this one. You don't really need recoil control with this build because you're using it at close range. Then with optics, you could choose whatever optic you like. Personally, I've been using the iron sights because I just feel like it makes sense because you're using it as an SMG, but you could choose like the slate reflector or something like that, for example, if you think it's cleaner. So there we have it. Those are the fastest TTK guns inside Warzone at the moment when it comes to close range. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we're trying to reach our goal of 50k. Click that link and subscribe to our second channel, and thank you very much for watching.